Samsung didn't reveal the Galaxy S26 Ultra on a stage, but somehow it already feels exposed. Not through flashy renders or dramatic launch claims, but through small, quiet hardware leaks that reveal far more than Samsung probably intended. And once you connect those details, a pattern starts forming. One that suggests the S26 Ultra isn't just another upgrade cycle, but a shift in how Samsung decides who its flagship is really built for. If you enjoy digging beneath surface-level leaks and understanding the real decisions companies don't explain, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who actually cares about tech strategy, and subscribe. This channel is all about reading between the lines. Let's begin with the detail almost everyone scrolled past: the leaked SIM tray images. At first glance, they seem harmless, just confirmation of colors and SIM support. But look closer, and something interesting appears. The Galaxy S26 Ultra still supports dual physical SIM cards. In 2026, that's not normal anymore. Brands are aggressively moving toward eSIM-only designs, claiming simplicity and space savings. Samsung choosing to keep physical SIMs tells us they're prioritizing control over convenience, at least for Ultra buyers. Physical SIMs mean flexibility, travel freedom, redundancy, and even privacy advantages. And here's the part most videos ignore. Not every region gets this. Samsung is quietly deciding which markets deserve full control and which ones get streamlined simplicity. That's not a technical limitation, it's a strategic filter. Now layer color into that story. Multiple SIM tray colors have leaked, confirming a surprisingly wide palette. But one color stands out as the clear marketing favorite: violet. Samsung reportedly plans to push this as the hero color, the one you'll see in ads, thumbnails, and store displays. That choice matters. Hero colors shape identity. Samsung wants the S26 Ultra to look bold, intentional, and instantly recognizable, not neutral or safe. Meanwhile, rumored online exclusive colors hint at another shift. Samsung pushing buyers toward direct purchases, turning color choice into a subtle form of exclusivity. You don't just buy the Ultra anymore. You unlock versions of it. Then comes the charging situation, and this is where Samsung's priorities become impossible to ignore. The base Galaxy S26 staying capped at 25W charging feels disappointing on paper, but makes perfect sense strategically. Samsung is no longer trying to make its base models feel good enough. It wants clear separation. The S26 Ultra jumping to 60W fast charging isn't about convenience alone. It's about status. Faster charging becomes a premium privilege. This isn't Samsung falling behind. It's Samsung deliberately widening the gap, so the Ultra feels less optional and more aspirational. Over time, that changes buyer psychology. You're not choosing a bigger phone, you're choosing access. But the most important shift isn't power or design. It's the display. This so-called private screen feature sounds vague until you connect it with Samsung Display's recent experimental tech. This doesn't feel like a brightness tweak or refresh rate improvement. It feels behavioral, controlled viewing angles, selective visibility, context-aware display modes. Imagine a screen that subtly limits what others can see without you doing anything. That's not entertainment-focused innovation. It's lifestyle-focused. Samsung seems to be acknowledging that phones are no longer used privately. And instead of pretending that isn't happening, they're building around it. The Ultra becomes the testing ground for how much control users actually want over visibility and privacy. And that philosophy carries straight into performance. 16 gigabytes of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of storage isn't meant to impress today's apps. It's meant to survive tomorrow's ones. Samsung isn't building this phone for 2026 alone. They're building it for on-device AI features that haven't even been announced yet. Real-time processing, offline intelligence, heavy multitasking. All of it demands memory and storage that would have seemed excessive just a year ago. This is Samsung betting that phones won't just run apps, they'll run systems. And the Ultra is where they're preparing first. Now, look at the camera changes through that same lens. Wider apertures on both the 50MP and 200MP sensors mean more light hitting the sensor before software ever touches the image. This is a quiet admission from Samsung that computational photography has limits. AI can enhance data, but it can't replace data that never existed. By improving optics instead of just algorithms, Samsung is setting a new baseline. And once users feel that difference, expectations change permanently. It's not flashy, but it's foundational. What makes the Galaxy S26 Ultra fascinating isn't any single feature. It's how restrained yet intentional everything feels. Samsung isn't overhauling the phone. They're tuning it, tightening boundaries, testing reactions, watching who notices. And with trusted insiders saying the real leak flood is about to begin, this may only be the beginning. Renders, marketing visuals, and deeper specs will follow, but the direction is already clear. The S26 Ultra doesn't feel like it's trying to impress everyone anymore. It feels selective, purpose-built, almost opinionated. And that raises a much bigger question than specs or leaks ever could. Is Samsung designing the future flagship phone, or deciding who the future flagship user is? As more details surface, watch carefully, not for what Samsung highlights, but for what it quietly locks behind the Ultra label. Because those decisions tend to stick around long after the hype fades. And once you notice the pattern, it's hard to unsee it. So where do you think Samsung takes this next? And who do you think gets left behind?